web without any consent. I could be more offensive and get demonetized for my vulgarity and not care about it, which I don't really care if this video gets demonetized. I mean, it comes to the point where if you see something idiotic, you have no choice but to commentate about it. And that is the problem with this event, which is, if you didn't notice, it's a complete clusterfuck. Now let's take it way back at the beginning to get some better information. That's in case you guys didn't know what the hell has been going on. So if you watched the Super Bowl, let's say last week or last Sunday or the last Sunday of the next Sunday, whoever the hell it is, you know that the Eagles has won. The Philadelphia Eagles have won the Super Bowl compared to the Patriots, and a lot of the Patriots will either masturbate to pornography because the team has used. A lot of Patriots fans will have their booze, or the Eagles, well, besides, I mean, we're sure the Patriots fans will masturbate to pornography, which I don't really care if you take offense to that. The Eagles, on the other hand, decided to spend their victory of their team's winning by causing property damage. But oh wait, it gets worse. It's besides for property damage, after the Eagles have won the Super Bowl, most of the fans in Philadelphia caused more property damage, and bear in mind this was in nighttime, so you couldn't even see jack shit. They caused property damage, jump on hotel buildings, and even climb up poles, set off fires, and even comes to the point where they even chop up the poles, causing more damage to the enemy. And if that was not bad enough, to the beginning, they were possibly arrested. Even the police authorities have to arrest only 4 suspects, but the whole riot was a huge pain in the ass. And since the aftermath, a lot of articles have made topics about the Philadelphia riots that are happening, and I would say that holy shit. So after 4 arrests, that somebody claims that there's gonna be a victory parade in Philadelphia, saying that it's gonna be a family event, and they say that New York City starts that even the mayor of Philadelphia criticized the stupidity of the fans. Even the mayor of New York City is involved with the stupidity, because half of the time, wherever it's Super Bowl season, there's want to become drunks. And it's not that much we have to expect that, because no shit, people are going to get drunk during the Super Bowl. But what I want to add about is that this is somewhat of the proof with model mainstream sports fans. Well, regardless if you I think it might be the football fans, because I'm pretty sure basketball fans are more civilized, and with soccer fans. So it could be more rowdy, but he's just saying at least basketball fanboys, NBA fanboys are more civilized. So they could get hectic, but hey, it's just basketball. But with football, I had to expect this was going to happen, because this never happens in the last year's Super Bowl. But then again, I never give a shit about the Super Bowl. It was overrated. It is the same. People only watch it because of the commercials, to the point. And it's not as if that we really actually did care, because we only watched for the commercials. Where some chick, where some pop star, where some, I don't know, vocalist that we never knew about, that we don't even care. Some pop star, I don't even know. Was said, say, can you see? Wasn't the American anthem, which, let's be honest, people don't care about the American anthem, but again, it is a Super Bowl. But this is what I meant about mainstream sports, and this is why I said to people that action sports such as skateboarding, snowboarding, aggressive airline, inline skating, or roller derby, and not least scooters as surfing. This is why action sports are way superior to mainstream sports such as basketball, football, and pure soccer. Hell, I'm pretty sure that the WWE community is more civilized. So you got Braun Strowman kicking Kevin Owens' asses, but don't expect that shit. But this is football, and I mean, the players are more civilized, but the fans are dust. And baseball is not a saint, because I'm pretty sure that the Yankees are kind of discriminatory and being kind of more segregationist with. They think that the Yankees are the one true team, but not. And the worst part about it is that it's gonna take Philadelphia. It's going to cost the mayor tons of cash to repair the city. Think about it. If they're causing more property damage, they just took out a light pole. Do you know how much money does it cost to get a repair? So there's gotta be more constructions. I'm pretty sure I know damn well that there's always construction in New York City, in central Manhattan, because everywhere you go, there's always jackhammers being pressed around without any context. But with the Super Bowl, and this is right with Philadelphia, this will mean that the fans of this type of sport is more idiotic and consists of jackasses. Because who cares if the Eagles, or even if the Eagles didn't win, you don't really care. And it's coming to the point where wherever that team loses, they come to some melodramatic saying that we lost. Oh my God, my team lost the Super Bowl. We lost. No, you didn't. The Eagles never give a shit about you. I'm pretty sure that by the time the Eagles see the situation, they will probably notice your demeanor and your bullshit heresy that you caused. It's bad enough you committed anarchy, but it's also worse they committed so much property damage. As I said, when you cause so much property damage, it's gotta take a lot of state officials tons of money to get the repair. What you have to understand is that it's not that simple to fix a city. The suburbs, yes, because most of the suburbs are mostly simple open source. But with cities, it's really difficult because every city is connected to itself. Most apartments are connected to themselves, same with hopefuls. And you cannot say that it's no big deal because understand, I let you know about real estate in the 21st century. I wouldn't be surprised if you managed to calculate the cost of repairs. But then again, this is 2018 where people could come for on stupidity. Listen, I could say something offensive, derogatory, and unorthodox. Hell, I could even say something that is unorthodox and not even give a damn. But really, it's not as if that we actually expected. We already have the fire charges. We already have the breach charge. We already have the type part time. So 2018 has been great going into the good start of idiocracy at Jackassism, a word that I invented. But the worst part I see so far is that they even have the audacity to say that we are not like the other cities. We gotta have a family affair. Well, it's kind of like that as you read the articles that was made after the post are made them. There's gotta be alcohol in this so-called family parade. Yeah, so some guy complained that the media has been criticized us, and I know damn well there will be one person who doesn't really know jack shit saying that, oh, not the nectar, oh, Eldritch Emperor, oh, Cousins Hierophant, oh, high asinus, you so judgmental, you criticize us when we just having fun. Hell, we gonna have a family parade where everyone can actually join. Why are you being so judgmental when we try to have fun? Why should you care? Because the same people who actually work their ass off, try to pay the rent, have to pay taxes of your fucking stupidity. The reason why I have to win your fun, hell, the only reason why I have to be a fun Nazi, a fun sadist, an anti-fun douchebag, is because if you're a middle class person, if you're a working class person that has to work a 9 to 6, 9 to 9 job, working the double shifts, try to pay your taxes, remember, your taxes are going to the property file, the property tax that you cost. And you don't even know this because come on. In this day and age, we have to pay our taxes, but we shouldn't have to pay our taxes to dumbasses who cause more property damage all because of that. And for what? That's because the Eagles won? Who are? There's gonna be the next Super Bowl. They're all the same. I don't understand why the Super Bowl has to be taken seriously. So football is all about fun, but the more you actually become the jackasses and the status as you are, you're the reason why the whole football community gets that one poor stigma. Because I don't understand how you son of a bitches cause more damage and come me that you're having fun. Cause you probably damage and causing it. And also, the only reason why CNN, ABC7, and all the and why CBC, and why the other news outlets are recording your ass on the news, like you the stereotype, it's because you are the same douchebags that recorded from iPods. Remember, if you recorded this from Instagram, you post it on Instagram, guess what? The news would take that into consideration and put it on live television, where anyone could just watch. Really, you claim that the news had give you a negative stigma, well, you chose to have the stigma that you committed with your own actions. Shut the fuck up. And then you wonder why. It's not fair that Americans have to pay taxes. It's not fair for the other Philadelphians have to pay taxes. You can't say you're having fun if you cause more anarchy. And now you're saying that after that riot, you gotta figure out about it and have a parade that's nothing to do about it. You gotta know that shit? Well, and you even claim that it's gonna be a family affair? Get the fuck out. I saw an article that says there's gonna be free beer distributed. So yeah, family parade my ass. You can't count it as a family parade if there's alcohol being distributed. I feel like I could drink 2 bars of G-grams and not get intoxicated. That's how I am. I have more better tolerance of alcohol than any other SOB possible. Don't even get me started. I could drink 7 times the amount of C-grams alcohol and still be sober in 1 nanosecond, in 1 millisecond, in 1 quadrillion seconds. Wow. And the worst part, and you think you can just get away with that effect? No. Why should I go to the effect of the damage you caused? The mayor even cut out all your bullshit. And if you didn't really see the news, well, the mayor itself even criticized New York City. But then again, it's gonna happen anyway because during the Super Bowl season, no matter what state you are, every American will act dumb shit. But then again, the most people that do the dumbest shit of all is Philadelphia. You never see this with the Seahawks. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the Seahawks fans are more civilized compared to the Eagles. Hell, now that I mention that, I would rather support the Seahawks than the Eagles. I always wanted to live in Seattle. I used to live in the UK, so... And I'm not going to talk about the event that's very similar to Eagles' victory in Manchester. That really to the point, up to the US. It's just disappointing. I mean, here's the thing. I have to agree with what the mayor has said about the whole critique of the census causing property damage. I mean, if you think about it, the mayor's kind of right. In this day and age, you might as well does take accountability for your possibilities. But as jackasses become more bigger jackasses, I don't really see any hope for human behavior in 2018. But God forbid that might change. But who cares? And this is just proof that hardcore sports fans are putting the sports and mainstream sports into the worst stigma. Because if you didn't notice from before, the only reason why I never see the whole point was to the Super Bowl because I knew there was something wrong after the aftermath. There's gonna be a lot of arrogance, anarchy going on, and it seems to me that as we Americans are coming to the farm, we don't even know how to become civilized after the first victory. Yes, you have you have the right to celebrate. Yes, you have the right to get drunk after your favorite team won. That's alright. You have the right to get drunk, get intoxicated, and have your underwear torn backwards. I don't really give a shit. I don't give a shit if you pay beer pong on a jacuzzi. I would never give a rat's ass if you do a somersault from the roof of the house. I could care less. But what I do mind is that you have to take some consideration of what you cause damage to your own state. Remember, if you live in Philadelphia, this is actually your house, your home. You don't have the ever guarding right. You don't have the God-given right to cause destruction on your peaceful neighborhood. Because guess what? You are the same person that live about it, yet you want to destroy your property that you live in, and you want to destroy other people's property because of one celebration. Why? Are all people that have to encounter? Why? There should be no point. You should never cause property damage to people that pay taxes, even if the mayor gives anything, because you might as well just, I don't know, live with the Virgos, or live in Beverly Hills where all the dumbasses and the jocks or all the college students act like complete jackasses. And that's the truth. Say you don't want me being judgmental, but here's the thing. I had to take a huge step Google searching research on Google and Huffington Post. It's not simple for me to just become a bystander and not actually come as anything. If I didn't make this rant, then I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't do anything else. The only issue I have so far is that you are the reason why nobody takes football seriously. As a matter of fact, your ideology is the reason why nobody takes mainstream sports. And that's the reason why nobody takes football, soccer, scratch that, football, basketball, soccer, even fucking tennis. But hell, scratch that. I'm pretty sure that the tennis community is more civilized than the football community. I'm pretty sure that the golf community is more civilized than the fucking planet chimpanzees. I'm pretty sure. I'm even pretty sure that the whole FIFA tournament has better team community service than the fucking Bronx Zoo. And you couldn't tell me that anywhere else. Trust me. And it's not as if we have to respect this. A lot of people act so idiotic during the Super Bowl too many times. Hell, you got some bad commotions on Kim Jong-un about cryptocurrency, but I don't really care about North Korea. And now, after that cross the fuck happens, we have the Winter Olympics. But how can you watch TV if you have so many jackasses committing fanatism and property damage? Kinda weird. It's depressing, and this is why I myself, and you and I are kinda affected, whoever's watching this video. I became a skateboarder for a reason. There's a reason why I took huge interest into skateboarding, snowboarding, roller skating, inline skating, or aggressive inline, whatever you want to choose, and parkour, including BMX. Have you ever noticed in the skateboarding community, you never see disobedience and property damage coming around? You never see, whereas like in the X Games, the team has more better sportsmanship in terms of the fan community, but in the Super Bowl, the team has no disparity, has no serialization. That's the thing I wanted to know. And yes, it's kind of weird for me to compare the X Games to the Super Bowl, but here's the thing: when one person wins the X Games, you never see anyone go batshit ashamed.
Aren't you supposed to be in school?
You never see anyone go insane to the point. You never see anyone go apeshit, causing more property damage and break windows, cause a fire in the middle of the streets, and actually cause a pour. So I wouldn't be surprised anything else. And the worst part about it is that it's kind of disappointing to say the least. You can look at images on the fence, and I wouldn't be surprised, because what makes it so difficult to maneuver is that while you have a situation in your hands, what you have to understand is that it's not that simple to take people seriously. We live in a year where it's kind of simple to the point where people can act so idiotic to the point. I wouldn't be surprised. I would never be surprised if people have the tendencies to become civilized when they win a game. And you've noticed in the skateboarding community, there's never been a huge issue of anarchy or disruptiveness coming around. And it seems that the whole skateboarding community has been mostly peaceful and mostly peace out to the point. And yes, you may make the argument that skateboarders.
What is your schedule for school, bro? What time you at?
You may say that the whole skateboarding community is full of weed smokers and marijuana smokers, but sure, I even disagree about the whole weed smoking, how it's pretty much overrated. I get that. But the difference is that at least the skateboard community has been open-minded, and most of the attention has been associated as electoralism being attacked. With football, it's full of jocks, frat boys, and uncivilized SOBs who are too rich to even kill, narcissists. And that's pretty much the whole problem with the Super Bowl, is that it's so overrated to the point that it's pretty much a commercialized holiday. There's nothing special. I don't really think that the whole American anthem actually matter, because, let's be honest, what is the whole point of seeing the American anthem if Donald Trump was president? Remember, he is the same person that bastardized the image of America. I mean, sure, Obama was the same thing, but he did some progress, some legacy in his own installment. But with Donald Trump, there's no even actual point to seeing the American anthem. He's president, and it doesn't really make sense to say in the Super Bowl. But it's not even worse compared to the damage caused by the residents in Philadelphia. And you think about it, the more people look at the stigma, the more ideology online, they gotta change sports. They gotta consider the safest, the most peaceful, and the most open, acceptable, and open-minded. Why do you think that the Comic-Con even existed? Why do you think that cosplay even existed? Why do you even think that skateboard existed? Why do you even think that Porsche 5 existed? Why do you even think that the X Games existed? Because it was full of an open-minded skateboard community. Even snowboarding, open-minded. And when one person uses the X Games, they don't get pissed off, have a fucking tantrum, and go apeshit. They accept their defeat, shake hands, and actually does pat them on the back and have a huge smile on the back saying that they actually did something in terms of getting activity. That's sportsmanship. But with the Super Bowl, I doubt they even have jack shit. I mean, this is why. And before you said that the media has been given a bad stereotype, you caused that stereotype upon yourselves. Don't even say that the media has to give you. The media has every right to give you criticism, to expose your bullshit, because also tyranny that you cause of your neighborhood, the whole state of Philadelphia. Because believe it or not, you deserve to be stereotyped. You don't deserve to get respected after all the damage you cause on the Super Bowl. I'm glad that ABC Surfing, because let's be honest, you are the same person that partake in this riot in Philadelphia with a phone in your hand. You chose to record this. So how is it possible to say that the media has been criticizing you and make an artificial image where you chose to create the image on your own decision? And this is why nobody really takes America seriously. This is why nobody takes the 21st century seriously. People, especially adults and teens, made at both parties at the same time, they never take account of their responsibilities. This is why I always feel to this day, many adults, or maybe teenagers, but it's mainly the adults, never ever take accountability over their actions. So you get a scenario where they blame other people for the problems, but it's their self that causes the problems in the first place. And people want to.
You sound like a brother.
And people.
Don't worry, I won't call the feds.
Trust me. And the problem that you have to realize is that the biggest problem you have to keep in mind is that this is why the Super Bowl gets criticized. This is why nobody takes people seriously. If you think about it, adults, whenever they make a huge problem, they don't really take accountability on those things. They use a strongman fallacy, use it as excuse, and pretty much use it any single time. It's not as if we have to expect this forever happening. You rarely see adults taking responsibility over their own account. and you probably wonder why nobody takes him seriously. Now I can understand why, but the thing is that about it is that, but the thing about it is that
What's yo sister doing?
the biggest problem you have to keep in mind is that you have this situation where if the more we time on, the same goes to anything else. We becoming more self-centered and more self-absorbed to the point where we don't actually care. And it's not as
The
if
playroom from scratch to go back online out of health.
it's not as if it's not as if we never expect this from happening. And that's the worst part of us, that the more we actually mature, here's the thing, the more we actually think that we mature as age goes on, as we age, we think that we are mature, but honestly, we're just still children in adult bodies. And that's the problem with the 21st century in
The
2018.
absence to return home for all around to order from hell.
And it's not as if we can expect this. I will pretty much say the least expected, but what you have to understand is that it's not as if we actually expect this. I pretty much would expect this was going to happen anywhere else, but it did happen.
Man, what the hell you talking about?
You have to understand that nobody takes age seriously,
You ain't female, you look like a man to order from hell.
and you think that once you get to the adult ages, you might be advanced, but the biggest problem about it is that you may not get any recognition. So it's impossible to take anyone seriously in this day and age if and only if we are mature. But unfortunately, in 2018, adults don't act more as children, and children act more as adults. A lot of preteens are already more escaping office, especially in the female
Your
demographic.
fat can't sing oxygen thief and God's waiting room.
And trust me,
WTF is everyone talking about?
and trust me, if you understand my issues that I have to account to, it's a no-brainer.
Lol.
I
Thief
know,
and God's waiting to order from hell to order from.
and the point is that if we continue, if this happens in the next Super Bowl, then that will paint a new image about us Americans being more civilized. Think about it. You gave in foreign countries the reason why we get criticized so much. It's not as if, I mean, I would rather watch the Winter Olympics, but ironically, I don't really give a shit about the Winter Olympics. I only care about skateboarding and X
Down
Games.
syndrome should have been voted to order from hell.
I even care about the WWE. Trust me, if I really care about the Super Bowl, if I really care about what about douchebags holding a leather ball trying to get the hoops, trying to get to go to Archer, I will, but I don't really give a shit. And the worst part is that ever since the Wire on Philadelphia, there's a lot of new
The
coffins.
playroom from experience to heaven knows to heaven from. Man, bring yo sis online.
And you know it's gonna go bad when you have to put on news where millions of people across the globe can see it from far away, even in newspapers. And you say I'm judgmental.
VAG to order to return home want call.
You got the one impression. I know this because I've been to situations where football fans are becoming more exclusive and more idiotic as time goes on. But as you notice, the more people know about the problems in the mainstream sports community, they might take another ultimatum and go to a different direction and only care about skateboarding. That's right, because skateboarding is a form of art.
Worry, I want call.
It's a form of
Go
art
Steelers.
where we could be more open-minded and more experienced. Where football, you can't become open-minded and be creativity. There's no creativity in football, but it's not about that. The fans want making the football community look bad. So it may not be the case, but the thing about it is that if you really want a better community, there has to be a better ultimatum that doesn't really cause damage.
The feds, it's God's waiting fatty boom boom Staney fourth.
Because
Go Steelers.
Because what you have so far is that you have the mayor have to harshly criticize it, have to use New York City as an example, because anything that the mayor says for Philadelphia is right. We shouldn't have to pay our taxes to pay property damage caused by idiots who cause more damage to the environment than it meets the eye. And people might say about it otherwise, but keep in mind, if you're a huge Super Bowl fan,
My point, your fat can't sing oxygen thief and
if you're
cheese
one of those
return.
Super Bowl fans, if you want one of those hardcore football fans that care so much about football
Hippo
and
VAG
only
to order
football,
with care for sale.
then with me this,
Man, fuck what you talking about?
with me this, and with me that. Why? Why do you need to destroy the city? Why do you need to become so arrogant to the point where you have to be looked bad?
Bakery worry, I won't call the feds, it's God's wait and fatty boom.
Why do you actually have to cause more anarchy to the point? Because here's the thing, you can still be a fan of any sport you want. That's fine. But if you're going to be a huge fan of some sports, don't cause so much damage to the point. It's not necessary. If you want to celebrate, do it inside. So
Hey, ha 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 ha.
you might cause damage in your own household, but I could care less if you carry across the fog. But the point is that you have to become
Hippo
civilized
VAG Down syndrome job worry,
when it
I
comes
won't call VAG your fat.
when it comes to
When the
sports.
brown cow produces strawberry milk we shall drink.
Because the more you cause more negativity, it's not only that, the more you cause more damage, the more you cause more annihilation to your own specification, you gotta be mostly criticized. And the news would not give a shit if you claim that they put a stereotype on us, they put a bad image, they tell lies. Well, that's the job to tell lies because they are being paid by the Rothschild Wizards. What else do you expect? They're going to tell lies anyway. But when it comes to riots, they're going to tell the truth. Because whoever started the riot, it's beyond me. I guess there's actually some information that has been forthcoming. I would say anything else, but I wouldn't be surprised. And that's part of the problem I have with the Super Bowl. Because
Gaping and prolapsed cheese rolls, then my point, you're sucking. Dingling 1, dingling 2.
Because the fans are not that much skitty to the point. Because the fans are kind of. Because even the fans are not safe for this. The point is that when I used to think about the Super Bowl, I used to think about how it's all tomato. Because when I used to think about the fans, I used to think about idiotic memes. But that's only the beginning. Other than that, I don't really know so far. I just find it mostly idiotic to see the point.
Her dick hippo VAG I want needs rice and cheese from Xperi.
I don't even know what to say so far. My only best bet is to make a better maneuver or
Where
actually
the Japanese hoes at?
taking a better maneuver. I don't have anything else to say. I'm just speechless. I could even make a better rant than this, but
Cool.
I don't really know.
Funny.
It's just our maneuver. Other than that, this is your fault. You're the reason why nobody takes sports seriously. If you're one of those Philadelphia fans, I wouldn't know. Say, other than that, I don't really know what else to say. In fact, I'm kind of disappointed that people continue to act repeat jackasses in this day and age. But then again, this is 2018, and people are becoming more idiotic as time goes on. There's so many dumbasses.
Bro, let's get some Asian hoes.
And you have to expect that it's going to happen either way.
Go back up there with Staney 4th Down syndrome curly kale you.
The only thing I would wish so far is if there would be a better ultimatum, but I wouldn't be surprised. Other than that, I would never be surprised if there was a case, but that's pretty much it. So you did this upon yourselves. I don't have any remorse to you. That's about it. So I know you might criticize the comments, but I have to pause about how ridiculous this event has been. If you really want to follow this passion, that's fine. But understand the fact you cast a stereotype upon yourself, and now yourself only. I don't have anything else to say. I'm out of breath. I'm astonished. I'm surprised.
Bakery worry video stainy forth from inside bakery you look Lee.
I'm surprised how we still live in this generation where nobody knows how to become more civilized. I'm astonished how we still live in this generation where nobody in this day and age really knows about how to become civilized. But who knows? My only best bet so far is to be able to get our shit.
Where we get our shit together. You're growing tea.
Oh, we actually get something better. So either way, I don't know why. So that's about it. I don't really give a shit about the Super Bowl. Neither do you. You only watch it for the commercials. Same with me. But if you still want to watch next year's Super Bowl, consider it's like they won't matter.
Windsor with people's life from strength to dance.
Be my guess. So
I'm astonished on some big Asian titties.
That's that. So if you people want to do the difference, just stick to action sports. Be a skateboarder, be a snowboarder, be an AI skater, a roller skater, wherever part. Sorry the action sports community, sorry the skateboard community. Hey, whatever sport you want to pick, that's fine. But if you're gonna be a huge sports fan, remember, you have an image you have to pertain. You have to protect your reputation if you want to be taken seriously. Because otherwise, the more dumb shit you actually committed, the more dumb shit it has to get spread around. And I'm pretty sure by the time it gets reached the whole news part, or maybe, I don't know.
Skateboard breast.
Is Instagram. So yeah. As the guy actually said it, besides the body type, the body spell peace with peach. Might as well add that. Rat and peach out. This is the high-assness coming off with another clusterfuck of
for example with these as many viewers from Experience.
And that's about it. If you want to continue with making mash, I will. Just make sure you can stay subscribed to a better ultimatum. And you really get that. So thanks for actually coming to this video and actually take this out into accountability. Rat and peach out. Or forget the Super Bowl because it is the most useless sports ever.